Hello learners, today we are going to study the second part of vectors, and it will be the addition of two vectors. Addition, subtraction of two vectors. Okay, and one more thing, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe the channel. Okay, don't forget to subscribe the channel. It's very important. Vectors part 2. Vectors, unlike scalars, don't follow normal addition rules. It has a particular addition rules. There are three rules by which you can actually calculate. Better to say, there are four rules by which we can actually calculate the addition of vectors. Number one, triangle law. Number two, parallelogram law. Number three, polygon law. And number four, addition by resolving vectors. Okay, these two particular rules, triangle law and parallelogram law, are only applicable for addition of two vectors, but these two rules are applicable for addition of two or more than two vectors. Okay, so there are four rules, 1, 2, 3, 4, by which we can add two vectors. Now, the first law, which is triangle law for vector addition, it states that if two vectors are represented by two sides of a triangle taken in an order, for example, say clockwise or anti-clockwise, taken in an order, then the third side taken in reverse order must be the sum or resultant of those two vectors. For example, here we have taken two vectors, vector A and vector B, and these two vectors are represented by the sides AB and BC. So the order is here is anti-clockwise. So the third side taken in clockwise direction, that is in AC direction, must give the resultant. So here vector R equals to vector A plus vector B. Very simple one. Just take another look at it. Triangle law for addition of two vectors. This is a very important one. If two vectors are represented by two sides of a triangle taken in an order, then the third side taken in reverse order must be the sum or resultant of those two vectors. And here it is the example AB and BC taken in anti-clockwise direction. So the clockwise direction is AC. So AC gives the resultant, that is vector R equals to vector A plus vector B. Hello. Now look at this derivation of formula for resultant vector. Suppose the diagram is just like the previous one. AB, BC, the resultant is AC. The angle between these two vectors is theta here. Why theta? Because we know that the angle between two vectors will be calculated when the tails of the vectors meet. Here AB is the head of AB and the tail of BC meet at point B. So this angle, this particular one, is not the angle between these two vectors. So we just imaginarily shift this vector AB here, and so this theta is the angle between vector A and vector B. So theta is the angle between vector A and vector B. And alpha, what is alpha? Alpha is the angle that the resultant vector makes with the vector A. So we have to do two things. Number one, to find the magnitude of the vector, resultant vector, that is R, and the second one is the direction. How can we find the direction of the resultant vector? By measuring the angle that the resultant vector makes with a particular vector. Here we are going to measure the angle alpha, which is the resultant vector makes with the vector A. So R equals to AC, and to find the value of AC, we just draw a perpendicular on AB. So the perpendicular on AB from C meets at point D. Okay. So AC equals to root over AD square plus CD square. And what is AD? AD is the sum of AB and BD. So we write AB plus BD whole square in the next step. So root over AB plus BD whole square plus CD square. We just break this whole square and we get AB square plus 2AB BD plus BD square plus CD square. And now BD square plus CD square, this is 90-degree angle. So BD square plus CD square gives BC square. So in the next step we write root under AB square plus 2AB BD plus BC square. So it ultimately it comes AB square plus BC square plus 2AB and BD. BD is unknown, so we just write BD by our known values. So BD can be written as BC cos theta. So ultimately we write the values of AB, BC and etc. So R equals to AB square, that is root under AB square, that means A square, plus BC square, that means plus B square, plus 2AB BC cos theta, that means 2AB cos theta, small a small b cos theta. Very easy. So this is our main formula for magnitude of resultant vector. Okay. So R equals to root under A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. And now we calculate the direction of the resultant vector. Alpha is the direction here. So alpha equals to tan inverse CD by AD. And we just write as earlier we have written it, AD as AB plus BD. So CD here is the perpendicular, so we can write it as B sin theta. AB plus BD equals to A plus B cos theta. So our next formula is the direction of the angle alpha equals to tan inverse B sin theta by A plus B cos theta. But this particular formula angle is will be calculated as these when the figure is like this. Okay, if the figure changes, if the position of A and B changes, then the formula changes. Keep it in mind. So if the figure is like this, then the formula is like this. Okay, like this means the order. The horizontal vector is A and the vector which is above A is B. Then this formula is B sin theta plus A plus B cos theta. The second law is parallelogram law for addition of two vectors. If two vectors are represented by two adjacent sides of a parallelogram, then the diagonal passing through the corner of those sides must give the sum of resultant of those two vectors. For example, here AB and AD, these are the two adjacent sides of a parallelogram ABCD. Okay. Now these two sides represent vectors A and vector B. So the diagonal passing through the corner of these two sides, that is through the corner A, is AC, and this diagonal must represent the resultant or sum of the vectors. So vector R equals to vector A plus vector B. Now the derivation of the magnitude and the direction of the resultant vector is very simple. R equals to, now draw the perpendicular here, okay, this is CD. So if we take this particular portion ACDA, this particular portion, so this is just like the triangle law. So the proof is similar one. So R equals to root over A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta, where theta is the angle between vector A and vector B. If this resultant vector makes an angle alpha with vector A, then alpha equals to tan inverse B sin theta by A plus B cos. So the formulae are the same, R and alpha. Very easy one. The third rule is polygon law for addition of vectors. By this rule or method, we can add more than three or more than three vectors. The rule is like this: if three or more vectors are represented by the consecutive sides of an open polygon taken in an order, then the side which closes the polygon taken in reverse order must give the sum of the vectors. Here the keywords are open polygon taken in an order, the side closes the polygon taken reverse order. So these are the keywords, you must remember it. For example, here we have taken A, B, C, D vectors. So we are going to calculate the sum of these vectors A, B, C and D. To do so, we have taken these vectors as the consecutive sides of an open polygon A, B, B, C, C, D and D E. So A, B, C, D, E is an open polygon. Now these sides are taken in anti-clockwise direction. So the side AE which closes this polygon taken in clockwise direction AE must be the sum of these vectors. So A plus B plus C plus D equals to E here. So A plus B plus C plus D equals to E here. We can easily prove this actually rule easily. To do so, we just join point A and C, point A and B. Now here the triangle ABC, if we just take a look at this triangle ABC, then we see that vector AB and vector BC are taken in anti-clockwise direction. So AC taken in clockwise direction must be the resultant. So here AC equals to vector A plus vector B. Now if we take a look at this ACD triangle, then we see that AD equals to AC plus CD. And what is AC? A plus B. And what is CD? CD equals to vector C. Now the final triangle is here ADE. ADE. So in ADE we see that AD, vector AD, in all these three triangles we apply the triangle law for addition of two vectors. AD plus DE equals to AE. So what is AD? AD means A plus B plus C. A plus B plus C. And what is DE? DE means D. So A plus B plus C plus D equals to AE. AE means vector E. So ultimately we prove the law for polygon law for addition of vectors. Very easy one. Just be careful. If a question comes to write the polygon law for addition of vectors, then don't forget to mention all these keywords. Open polygon taken in an order, the side closes the polygon taken in reverse order. These are the main words. Okay. You have to keep it in mind. The last method is the method of addition of vectors by resolving it. So at first we are going to understand what is resolution of a vector. It is just the opposite of addition. We have added two vectors and get one vector. Now we split a vector into several vectors, and this is the resolution of a vector. Very easy one. Okay, here OA is a vector, and we are going to resolve it into two vectors. And what are those vectors? We are going to resolve it into the vectors along x and y direction. Okay, to do this, and from this figure it is quite clear that the vector OA, that is a vector, small a vector, makes an angle theta with x axis. So we draw a perpendicular from the point A, and we get we just give a point name of this point B, and similarly we draw a perpendicular from A on y axis, and we give the name C. So from this figure it is very clear that OA equals to OB plus BC. Why? Because if we apply the parallelogram law, then OB plus BC equals to A. Similarly, OA equals to OB plus BC. Very easy one. Now, what is OB? OB is the magnitude of the vector OB. So what is OB? OB equals to A cos theta. Okay. And what is OC? OC equals to A cos 90 degree minus theta, because this angle is 90 degree minus theta. Listen very carefully, because this concept is very important. OC equals to A cos 90 degree minus theta. So it is A sin theta. Right? So from this diagram, OA equals to nothing but root over OB square plus BC square. So it is okay, just I'm coming to this later. Suppose OB, it is called, OB is called the x component of vector A. Okay, x component of vector A. So we write it as A suffix x. OC is called y component of vector A. So we write it as A y. Okay, so x equals to A cos theta. So x component is A cos theta and y component is A sin. Now Ax is a scalar quantity, but OB is a vector quantity. So how can we convert a scalar into a vector? By multiplying this scalar by a vector. And which vector? A unit vector, because by multiplying a unit vector, the magnitude is not altered, but it is converted into a vector only. Okay, so OA can be written as OA equals to Ax OB vector. OB means, so OB equals to Ax and OC equals to AY. So vector OB equals to Ax I cap, and vector OC equals to AY j cap, where I cap is the unit vector along x axis and j cap is the unit vector along y axis. So vector OA, that is vector A, can be written as Ax I cap plus AY j cap. So a vector A is resolved into two vectors, Ax I cap and Ay j cap. If we consider three mutually perpendicular axes, x, y, z axis, then the vector can be resolved as like this: Ax I cap plus Ay j cap plus Az k cap, where I, j, k are the unit vectors along x, y and z axis. Now from this figure, what I was going to do it earlier, y equals to root over ob square plus bc square. So it is magnitude of vector a equal to root over ob means ax square plus ay square. So it is in xy coordinate. If it has xy z coordinates, then a can be written as root over ax square plus ay square plus az square. So if a vector is written just like, suppose I am writing it here, okay, just copy it. Suppose a vector A equals to 5ik minus 2jk plus 3kk. So from what kind of idea do we get from this? We get an idea that ax equal to, that is the x component is 5, y component is minus 2, and az, z component is 3 here. Okay, so az equals to 3. And what is the magnitude of this vector? A equals to root over ax square plus ay square plus az square. So it is equals to root over 5 square plus minus 2 whole square plus 3 square equals to root over 25 plus 4 plus 9. So it is equal to root 38. So we get the magnitude. Another thing, we can get the angles. What angles? The angles the vector makes with the coordinate axis. Ax equals nothing but a cos theta. Ay equals nothing but a cos alpha, where alpha is the angle makes by the vector with x axis. Similarly, ay equals to a cos beta. Az equals to a cos gamma. So cos alpha equals to 5 by 8. So what is a? 5 by root 38. So alpha equals to cos inverse 5 by root 38. Similarly, beta equals to cos inverse minus 2 by root 38, and gamma equals to cos inverse 3 by root 38. Now we are going to do the addition of vectors by resolving it. For example, suppose this is vector A, this is vector B, and this is vector C. Okay, so we need to calculate the sum of these vectors. Okay, even there you can apply this method to calculate the sum of more than 3, more than 5, any number of vectors. Okay, so we just take mutually perpendicular axis x and y. Okay, so to do this, we take the components of the vectors. This is ax, this is ay, Okay, and this is plus a, and this is plus a1. This is plus cx, and this is plus c1, and this is minus cx, because this is negative x-axis. Similarly, this is minus dy, and this is plus dy. So the resultant x component of the resultant vector will be the sum of the all x components. So it is ax this is plus ax plus bx and minus cx in this case. Okay, plus minus cx. Ry equals to ay plus minus by plus cy. Okay, so resultant vector will be the square root of rx square plus ry square, and the angle alpha equals to tan inverse ry by rx. So these are the main formula. The sign may be altered according to the question. Okay, this is very simple process. And easily you can calculate the component. Ax means a cos of this angle, cos of the angle the vector makes with x-axis. Bx means the b cos theta 1 or theta 2. That means the angle that the vector makes with x-axis, that is theta 2. Cx means c cos theta 3, and it is here minus because, and all these angles must be remembered as the vector that makes with the concerned axis. In this case c minus cx, so it is in the negative x direction, so angle should be taken as the angle between vector c and negative x axis. This is very important, minus cx. Okay, if you like this video, then please subscribe my channel. Don't forget to subscribe my channel, because if you subscribe this channel, then you will get more and more videos like this. Okay, thank you very much.